Hey everyone, I am back. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. I hope that you've had a wonderful week. If you are brand new to Mental Health Moment with Dr. Hammond, welcome. Whether you are joining live right now on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, or LinkedIn Live, welcome, welcome. For those of you who tune in every single Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, welcome back. And for those of you who are listening on the replay of this on YouTube, welcome, welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Good evening to you as well. San Francisco's in the house. Welcome, welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. And I'm actually on your coast today. I'm in Oregon today, which is my 42nd state that I visited in my lifetime in the US, which is crazy. I only have 8 more to go. So I'm hoping to get to all 50 here at some point. But good evening to you as well. St. Louis is in the house today. Zephyr Hills, Baltimore. Welcome, welcome. It's Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. As I mentioned before, I hope you all are doing good. I hope you had a great week. Again, as we wind down the end of the year here, which is hard to believe, pretty soon we'll be celebrating holidays. If you celebrate holidays, new year, new everything, right? But while all of that is happening, I want to talk to you all today. And hi, welcome again from Boston, Guyana. Dallas is in the house. Good evening to you as well. I want to talk to you all today about how do you stay motivated? Because this is actually a question that I have been getting a lot recently as I've gone to different speaking engagement and talked to different groups. A big question that I'm getting is how do you stay motivated? Because of course I'm usually talking about mental health and about wellness, which is all great, which is all what Mental Health Moment is about for those of you who are new. But how do you stay motivated? Especially during the harder times. It's easy to stay motivated when things are going well for you. It's easy, right? It's easier. But when things get hard, when things get challenging, when things get overwhelming, when life throws you that curveball, which it will, as we all know, how do you stay motivated through that? And good evening to you all still joining here as well from New Orleans, Columbia, South Carolina, Virginia, Michigan, Detroit, New York City. Welcome, welcome. It's great to have you all today. So how do you stay motivated? So I'm going to share with you a couple of tips today. And also, I wanted to share with you a new book that I'm in the middle of reading, which I absolutely love. I love, as a psychologist, of course, those life-changing self-help books, very life-changing self-help books. And I think this is definitely one of them. So I'm going to share that with you as well. Hartford, Connecticut is here. Kansas City, Missouri is here. Welcome, welcome. So the first thing I want you to think about is some of you, if you were here for Mental Health Moment at the beginning of this year, you made your wellness goals, right? And it's all great. I write them down too. I have my huge dry erase board at home. I write down my goals physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all those things, which is great to write down your goals. You should. However, one of the things you have to think about is what is your reaction to those goals? Because what I found a lot of times when we think about how do you stay motivated through the chaos of life, if you, whatever goal you have in whatever area of your life you have, if you get to the point where you come to the bump in the road, which you will, there will be something difficult that pops up that is unexpected. It is just a part of life. How do you handle that? How do you react to that, right? Because especially during those times is when it's really critical for you to be thinking about what is your self-talk during that time. And I will say, I will disclose and be open with you all that I have been on my own personal journey when it comes to self-talk, because my inner self-critic used to talk really loudly, like really self-critical things, right? And it's not perfect now. It's hopefully a lot better and improved. But that's something that I've had to work on over time. So especially in those harder, darker times, overwhelming times, you have to really be thinking about what are you telling yourself? What is your self-talk? Self-talk is so powerful, you all. you all literally, you listen to yourself all day long, right? We are with our own ourselves, or with our own thoughts all 24/7, maybe except when you're sleeping, but all day, right? You are telling yourself certain things that starts to take a toll too. So it's not just what's going on around you. It's not just your friends and your family or your coworkers or whomever else. It's also you within. So what are you saying? Are you motivating yourself? Are you your own cheerleader, right? Or are you like, man, I didn't make that goal. Man, I didn't get that, whatever it is. If it's a promotion, I didn't get this, I didn't get that. Things are not happening in the time frame they should. All those sorts of things that start it can really start to take a toll on you. So the first thing I want you to think about today is, what is your expectation, and what is your reaction to whatever wellness goal or goals that you have in your life right now? Because if you said at the beginning of the year, man, I want to take, a lot of people, I know a lot of people say, I want to take more time for me, I want to have more self-care time, because I remember we talked about that at the beginning of the year and I was reading off some of your comments. So I know a lot of people were like, man, Dr. Hammond, I need more self-care, I need more downtime, which is great. But if you come to a point where you have a couple of weeks or couple months that is just rough because of whatever's going on in your life, that is okay. Because a lot of times we play the self-blame game. We have a lot of judgment. We didn't do this, we didn't do that right. That we got to keep moving forward, right? And it's okay if sometimes you feel like you're taking 5 steps back. 5 steps back, that's okay. We got to just keep moving forward. So I really, really encourage you strongly to think about, what are your expectations and your reactions, which are things you can control. We cannot control some of the things that happen to us in life. We just don't have that ability as humans, right? Things happen, but we can work on, strive to control our reactions, and to think about, how do we what are our expectations of ourselves. And good evening to those who are still starting to join here. Dr. Hammond here with your mental health moment. Texas is in the house. New Jersey is here. Awesome, awesome. Atlanta's in the house. And Orlando, Florida is here. Oh, I was just in Orlando this past weekend. So welcome, welcome. So for those of you who are new to Mental Health Moment, I am Dr. Nekeshia Hammond. I do reside in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. Today I'm in beautiful Oregon. This is my first time here. The mountains are gorgeous here. Obviously, we have no mountains in Florida, so I'm admiring these mountains and the beautiful weather that's here today. But for those of you just joining, we're talking about, how do you stay motivated, right? With everything that's happening, it feels like things are getting more and more hectic, more and more chaos. Some of us are still trying to manage some of the things that may have or may have not happened during COVID times, right? There's just a lot that we're all sorting through. So how do you stay motivated through that? And the book that I was telling you all about, actually, a couple weeks ago, I spoke in Atlanta at a conference for women of color attorneys. Amazing group. We were talking about wellness, and one of the audience members actually recommended this book for the group, and I was like, "Ooh, it sounds good. Let me read it." And sure enough, it's amazing. So the book is called, if someone could put it in the chat, that would be awesome. It's called Atomic Habits. So it's Atomic Habits, and it's by James Clear. And I'm about 3/4 of the way through that book. Really great book. So if you're a reader, if you love self-help books, I know I love the self-help books and motivating books. That is a really good book to think about your habits, because what happens a lot of times, it was very extremely eye-opening for me, and I really very much appreciated the book and the concepts in there as a psychologist, because a lot of them I was finding very true. But a lot of times we don't appreciate the baby steps. So we think about the leaps. We think about, I want to spend so much more time in self-care. I want to do this, I want to do that, which is great. Have big goals. But also we have to remember how powerful these baby steps are that we take as well. Yep, someone wrote in the chat. Thank you very much. Someone said, I plan to read that one again. Yeah, it was my first time. It came out a couple years ago, but my first time reading it, Atomic Habits by James Clear. And a couple people put in the chat, thank you. And really good book. I personally love practical books. That's just, everybody has their own reading style. So this one is very practical, meaning like, okay, here's what you can do to make this habit easier for you. Yay. We like easier. And habits that you want to keep, healthy habits that you actually want to accomplish and that stick, right? Because sometimes we start different things when it comes to wellness. You try something for a day or a week, you're like, I'm not doing that no more, right? But it was something that was really good for you. So I think this book I would highly recommend. I think it's really good for you to think about, how do I make those habits stick, and how do I appreciate that the smallest steps that I take every day really do add up in the end. It really does make a difference at the end of the year and at the end of the month, and at the end of 5, 10 years. Like, if those little things we do really make a difference. So highly recommend it. So check that book out. And for those of you who are like, Dr. Hammond, I do not read. I don't like to read. I remember someone told me that once. I was recommending a book, and a friend of mine was like, what else you got for me? Because I don't read, which is all good. So if you're in that boat, what I'm going to do on future mental health moments, I will let you know about good podcasts. I'll let you know about good YouTube, just other forms of ways you can be better. So it really doesn't matter whether you read, whether you listen to it, whether you watch it on a video, however you learn best. It's just critically important that you take the time to make sure that you're continuing to work on your wellness journey. Because again, one of the things of staying motivated is you have to be surrounding yourself with positivity. You have to be surrounding yourself with inspirational things. I practice what I preach, you all. I try my best on social media, along with, yes, the negative news that's out there, which I see. There's a lot of inspirational content that I follow also to keep me uplifted. That's why if you follow me on Instagram, you see I'm always sharing in my stories some type of quote or some type of inspirational something, words, just something, because we really have to work on staying uplifted, because it can be hard and it can be challenging, of course, with everything that is happening in the world, especially the last couple of years. So make sure you keep that in mind. Make sure, please, you all give yourself grace as we go into the end of the year. As I mentioned, it usually for most people is very hectic. If you have that mindset though, and okay, we got all these major holidays coming up, whichever you may or may not celebrate. But even if you don't celebrate any holidays, it's the energy around us is a lot. The stores are busier. People are driving faster, trying to get to places, right? It's kind of a heavy, hectic time. But I also want to encourage you to think about making sure, and I put this on my Instagram today, but make sure that you find the time for joy, even in the chaos, which I know is hard sometimes, but make sure you make the time for joy. Very, very important. Uh-huh. So if you all need me at any time, you can always reach me, drnekeshiahammond.com. You can reach out on social media if you need any sort of resource. You can connect with me on social media. As I mentioned, I'm also sharing a lot of reputable mental health resources and inspirational content, because again, like I said, you all, it's there's a lot happening, and it's really important for us though to think about how do we stay uplifted, especially through the bumpier times in our lives, which definitely come here. Someone said, someone said, I love Oregon. Go check out the Seal Cave. You know what? I'm gonna have to see what's close to this area. I'm not sure where that is, but I will definitely I'll definitely see what's out here. But it is pretty beautiful out here. So, which is amazing. And someone said yes, and give grace to others. Absolutely, because before I wrap up here, I do want to say something to that. It's important that we give grace to ourselves, but it is also important that we give grace to others, because some of the misconceptions about the holiday season is that it's happy and it's great for everyone, but really it's not for everyone. And mental health wise, there's a lot of people that struggle for different reasons during the holidays, especially. Please remember that what you see on social media does not tell you everything that's happening behind closed doors in people's lives. There's a lot of people, a lot of people hurting during the holidays because of losses, because of grief, because of financial issues, because of a lot of different reasons, frankly. So so yes, please give each other grace during the entire year, but especially during the holidays, because again, it becomes a really hectic season for a lot of people. Someone said, "Find joy within the chaos." Great advice. Yes, please do. And I know I really do know how hard that is, but it gives your brain a break. I'm not saying to pretend like everything is happy all the time. It's not. I get it. There's hardships, there's difficult times, there's sadness, there's anxiety, but if you train yourself to say, "But I still deserve to have a moment of joy," whatever that looks like, it can be really, really powerful for you. And what happens also is sometimes, I know this probably happened to some of you because it definitely happened to me sometimes. Sometimes when we take those whatever 5, 10, 15 minutes of a break, any sort of joy, like just really good joy for yourself, you're like, "Man, I didn't realize how much my body needed a break. I didn't realize how much my brain needed." Start to happen when you have some downtime. You recognize, and your brain recognizes, "Man, I really needed this break. I really needed this moment of happiness." And again, you can go back to processing whatever hurt or sadness or anxiety that you're feeling after that time of joy, but still allow yourself to feel joy even in the chaos. Um, so yes, so I will be back next Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Black Women Empowered Incorporated Facebook page, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. And again, if you're watching the replay on YouTube, I'll make sure to subscribe, and I'll be back next week. So take care of yourselves. Again, if you need me, drnekeshiahammond.com is where you can reach me, and have an amazing week, you all. So take care of yourselves, stay motivated, stay inspired, and stay blessed. I'll see you all next week, y'all. Bye, y'all.